hydraulic dynamometer. You can observe the image hydraulic dynamometer. As the name specify, hydraulic. It uses the fluids, or you can call it as a water, for the measurement of the torque. Hydraulic dynamometer. Right. So these are some of the dynamometers which may be used in the industries. Hydraulic dynamometer. See, this will be the image which is given in the book. Hydraulic dynamometer. You can observe the image. Right? It consists of the water here, right? Hydraulic. So this will be the housing. This is the shaft, for which it is coupled to a device or the machine which you are supposed to do the measurement of the torque or the power, right? That is the shaft which is to be connected. These shaft, it is placed on the trunnion bearings. You can observe here, right? This arrow mark indicate it is rotating. Inside this shaft to this, inside this housing, there will be radial blades. I will show that video so that you can get the idea of how that blades will look like and how that movement will take place. So there is an inlet water, there is an outlet water. Is shown in the image. Water inlet, water outlet. So water will flow around this radial blades. Right. So this is the housing, what it looks like. And to this housing, it is connected with a reactor arm. This reaction arm is the one which will measure the force, the torque involved, or the torque produced by the machine or the engine, to which this dynamometer is being coupled to it. So hydraulic dynamometer. See, water flow through these blades in a circular vortex. Then it will go to produce the torque, which is response through the dynamometer housing itself. This housing. And that whatever the torque what it's going to generate, it will be measured through this reaction arm, which is shown in this image. So the water which is going to enter, it will be in the form of vortex, it will going to rotate. Right? See, basically the hydraulic dynamometer, it works based on the principle of dissipating the power in fluid friction rather than the dry friction. If you take the example of the mechanical dynamometers, that is rope brake dynamometer, tonic brake dynamometer, those will be dry friction. Whereas in this case, it is the fluid friction rather than the dry friction. Water is present. Through that, the friction, because of that, the torque generate, and that can be able to use to do the measurement for the dynamometer which is been coupled to the machine or the engine. So it consists of the inner rotating member, which is coupled to the output shaft of the engine. Within this casing, these impellers will go into rotate with the fluid, that is the water. Apart from that, whatever the heat, what it's going to generate, it will be dissipated by the water itself. See, inlet water, outlet water. So whatever the heat, what you're going to generate, it will be dissipate this through this water itself. So the output, it can be controlled by using the different gate mechanism. So this hydraulic dynamometer is a power sink. That means it uses the fluid friction for dissipation of the energy, that is the input energy, and thereby it measures the input power or the input torque. So it is a power sink. It uses fluid friction, and the capacity of this hydraulic dynamometer, it depends on the two factors. One is based on the speed, other is the level of water. It depends on two factors. One is the speed and the water level. See what the torque, what it going to be measured is with the help of the reaction arm. The power absorption at the given speed may be controlled by adjusting the level of water in the housing. You can observe over here, this image represent the torque which is going to be measured is with the help of this reaction arm, and the power absorption at any given speed may be controlled by adjusting the level of water in this housing itself. You can observe here the water. This type of dynamometer may be made in considerably in the larger capacity as compared to the Prony brake dynamometer. These type of dynamometer can be made to the larger capacities, because whatever the heat what it going to generate, it will be dissipated easily by the circulation of the water. Prony brake dynamometer is a mechanical dynamometer. It involves dry friction, whereas in this it is a power sink. It involves fluid friction. So because of this fluid friction and water is being used, which will carry out the excess heat what it going to generate during the measurement of the torque or the power, this dynamometer can be used for larger capacities also, which is not possible for the Prony brake dynamometer. Right? See, these trunnion bearings support the dynamometer housing. It will allow this housing to easily rotate, except the resistance what it going to generate for the reaction arm. The power absorbing element in this particular hydraulic dynamometer is the housing itself. Power absorbing element in this hydraulic dynamometer is the housing, which tend to rotate with the input shaft. But such rotation is being constrained by a force measuring device. You can observe over here. It will restrict the movement of this housing, such as some form of a load cell that can be used, right, which is placed at the end of this reaction arm. Load cell, right, which will restrict the movement of this housing of this particular dynamometer. So usually torque in this dynamometer can be given by equation F into R. F represents the force and R will be the radius. So T is equal to F into R. Right? You can able to observe here. T is equal to F into R. This will be the torque, what it can able to measure for the device to which it is being coupled. So we'll just play a video about the parts to show you that, so that you can able to have some little better idea about what actually that hydraulic dynamometer is about, and how this radial plates, the impellers inside this housing will look like. So it is a power sink. It works basically on the principle of fluid friction. So these are capable of can be built for considerably for the larger capacity as compared to the Crony brake dynamometer, which is mechanical dynamometer. This is hydraulic dynamometer. So some of the advantage of this hydraulic dynamometers over the mechanical brakes. So mechanical brake means it is indicating it is a Crony brake, right? As compared to this, what are the advantages this hydraulic dynamometer is going to have over mechanical brakes? It is Crony brake. See the advantages in hydraulic dynamometer, constant supply of water running through the braking medium acts as the coolant. So as I told, this hydraulic dynamometer, these may be made in considerably in the larger capacities than compared to the mechanical brake, it is Crony brake dynamometer, because the heat what it going to advantages of hydraulic dynamometers over mechanical brakes. These are flexible in controlling. These are these can be used to measure the brake power of very large and high speed engines. This uses the water itself as a coolant as compared to the Crony brake. Crony brake dynamometer or mechanical dynamometer is a dry friction dynamometer, whereas this one is fluid friction. So another type of dynamometer is hydrostatic dynamometer. See, hydrostatic dynamometer means it is in the stationary position. Hydrostatic. See here, these are the devices for measuring the force in the different situations. Hydrostatic dynamometer. In hydrostatic dynamometer, as you can see in the figure, right? Here it consists of this large oil reservoir tank, say hydro, the fluid. Here in this example, they have taken oil, right? Oil reservoir tank. This is there will be a small pump which is called a makeup pump. So this will be there will be oil supply through which this right. And here there are inlet and outlet connections to the pump or the motor. This is the hydraulic pump or the motor unit. For this, these are the inlet and the outlet connections. Through this base plate, this is being placed over or mounted onto these trunnions. Right? See, this is the place where it is being coupled to the torque source. Whichever the device or the machine which you are which you want to measure, which you want to know the power or the torque of it, it is been coupled to this hydraulic pump or the motor unit. So these are the parts of it. The torque to be measured is to couple to this hydraulic pump unit, which is mounted on this trunnions. Right? The reaction of the applied torque is sensed by means of a transducer, which is fitted on the pump base plate. See, the pump unit is mounted on the oil reservoir tank. This is being placed over the oil reservoir tank, and a makeup pump, you can observe here, this makeup pump, it is connected to this oil reservoir tank. See, this device, it is having the advantage that it may be used as a motor for running an engine. If it is acts as a motor to run an engine, in that case, the engine which is under the test, may be rotated by supplying the power from the makeup pump. If this a particular device, if it acts as a motor, say for example, to run an engine, in that case, the engine which is under the test may be rotated. That is, this will provide that energy for the engine to rotate by supplying the power from the makeup pump. That's what is called makeup. It will make up the losses of the energy. So this is the one which will go to provide that energy for the running of the engine to which coupled. Suppose if the dynamometer is designed purely for the absorption, if this is being designed purely based on the absorption, then this makeup pump supplies only the losses in the system. So this makeup pump will act based on whether this particular device, whether it is acts as the absorption or it acts as the power generation one type of dynamometer, right? Hydrostatic. These having the capability of measuring high torque at low engine speeds. These type of hydrostatic dynamometers. There is a small video about this. Also called power measuring instruments. Electric dynamometers or power measuring instruments. See, electric dynamometer, as the name indicate, electric dynamometer means this is a device which is designed to measure the torque of the electric motors. So particularly it is concerned with respect to the electric motors. That's why electric dynamometers. So dynamometer function is remain the same, but if it is electric dynamometer means it will measure the torque of the electric motors, power of the electric motors. Those will be electric dynamometers. It is also called power measuring instruments with respect to the electric motors. See, electric dynamometers can be of absorption or driving type of dynamometer. Absorption dynamometer or driving type dynamometer, or it can be both. These electric dynamometers, it can be absorption type or even the driving type dynamometer, or even both. Okay? And the type of dynamometer, that is, if the electric dynamometer, it is called as absorption type, or if the electric dynamometer is based on the driving type, it depends on the type of work or the type of task to which it is being used for. That is called electric dynamometer. It can be both, or it can be absorption, or it can be driving type dynamometer, right? The types of dynamometer explain this: absorption dynamometer, driving type dynamometer, right? Can observe here, it can be absorption type or it can be driving type. Electric dynamometer can be both, or it can be absorption type or it can be driving type. If it is absorption type dynamometer, it absorbs the energy as the torque is being measured. Engines or the electric motors. If it is a driving type dynamometer, it provides the energy to operate the device which is under the test. It is the device for which you are wish to measure the power or the torque. For that, it will provide the energy to operate, such as pump or the compressor. So depending on the task, electric dynamometer can be either absorption type or driving type or both, depending on the task which is being used for it. So we'll come back to the electric dynamometer. See here, the same thing here it is given. See, suppose if a machine is to be tested is a power generator, the device for which it is uh, needed to measure the torque or the power. If it is a power generator, the dynamometer must be capable of absorbing it. That means they are going to use the absorption type dynamometer. Electric dynamometer, it will be at that case, if it is a power generator, they'll be using absorption type dynamometer. Suppose if the machine to be tested, if it is a power absorber, then it must be capable of, that is, it must be means the dynamometer must be capable of driving it. If the machine which is under the test, if that itself is a absorber, power absorber, like a pump or a motor which absorbs the power, at that case, these dynamometers should be capable of driving it in order to measure the torque or the power. Right? That is what electric dynamometer. There are different types of dynamometer basically. Right? We'll discuss only about the first one, eddy current dynamometer. Right? We'll discuss only about this eddy current dynamometer. See, one of the type of electrical dynamometer is eddy current dynamometer. You can observe this somewhat. It look like this, right? The eddy current dynamometer, right? I think all of you know that one. What do you mean by eddy? That word. The meaning of this word eddy. Eddy means circular. The one which moves in the circular path is called eddy. And eddy current means the current which moves in the circular path. Right? Those are that is called eddy current. You can observe this animation here. See, this is what the eddy current. If this is the conducting material, the black color what you are seeing, if this is the conducting material, like this, the eddy current will be generated, which will be circulating like this. That's why it is called eddy. Eddy means one which moves in the circular path, the round like this. This is the small current actually. That's why it is called eddy current. A current which moves in the circular direction or circular path. Eddy current. And the dynamometer is what somewhat it look like this, which is used to measure the torque or the power for which it is been coupled. It can be absorption, it can be driving, depending on the type of task to which it is been assigned. But basically these type of electric dynamometer, that is eddy current dynamometer, particularly it is absorption type dynamometer. Electric dynamometer can be of both, or it can be absorption, or it can be driving. But particularly this eddy current dynamometer, one of the type of electric dynamometer, it is strictly of absorption type dynamometer. Absorption type dynamometer means it is basically it is used to measure the power generators. That means the device is basically which will going to generate the power, like the engine, motors, which will generate the power. For those, eddy current dynamometer will be used strictly of absorption type. It is absorption type means the device is power generator. That is the meaning. Absorption type dynamometer. You can observe here, it is used only for measuring the power from sources such as IC engine or electric motor, because it is a absorption type dynamometer. If it is absorption type dynamometer, the device which it going to measure the torque or the power, it will be power generator. and IC engine and electric motor are power generators. So this is what the eddy current, what is going to generate. Before discussing about this dynamometer, we will discuss about the eddy current, some basic. Then we will move on to the dynamometer working. Right? See, eddy current, I told it will be in the form of circular path. Current which is going to generate in the conducting material in the form of circular path will be eddy current. How this is going to form? There is explained in this image. So this will be the conducting material, right, which will conduct the current, right? Conductor, this material. So this will be the coil to which they will supply the DC power. So whenever the DC power is being supplied to this coil, it will going to generate the magnetic field. What you can able to see in the form of in the color blue colors, magnetic field. Whenever the coil is brought close to the conducting material, this magnetic field, it will generate a small EMF or the voltage in the conducting material, which will make the eddy current magnetic field to generate. Because of this magnetic field, which is generated by the coil, it induces a small EMF through this eddy current magnetic field. Finally, it will go to generate the circular current, which is called eddy current. What you can observe in the green color on this conducting material, which is rotating in the circle like this. This is called eddy current. The meaning of that eddy current, the dictionary meaning of that eddy current is a localized electric current induced in a conductor by varying the magnetic field. By varying the magnetic field means by moving the coil up and down, this magnetic field can able to vary, and as it varies, the current what it going to generate will going to be vary, which can be measured using the voltmeter or any other device. The dictionary meaning of the eddy current means a localized electric current. What you can able to see here, the form of circle. It is induced in a conductor by varying magnetic field. So it is called eddy current. See, this current, what it going to generate, usually it will be going to dissipate in the form of heat. Whatever the current, what it going to generate here in this conducting material, it will going to dissipate usually in the form of heat. This you keep it in mind, right? So that you can able to understand the dynamometer, eddy current dynamometer. Eddy current, what is going to generate in this conducting material in the form of circle will going to dissipate in the form of heat, right? So this is what eddy current. So basically this eddy current, it is used for the inspection purpose, right? You can observe here. This will be the assume this is the conducting material for which they are inspecting. Suppose say for example inspecting the cracks in this conducting material, right? See, this is the initial position of the coil for which the DC current is being supplied. Whenever DC is being applied to this, it will generate the magnetic field, what you can observe in the blue color. Whenever a conducting material brought close to this magnetic field, it will induces a small current in the form of circle. That current is called eddy current. See here there is no eddy current because the magnetic field is not came in contact with that of the conducting material. As soon as it brought in contact, it will generate a small current which will be circulating in the form of circle. Suppose if like this, right? Any flaws are there, right? Any flaws like this, it will be there in the surface or inside the material for which you are measuring or testing. Then the eddy current won't be in the form of circle like this. It will take a different shape. That is the current what is going to generate, it is going to vary, and that is the indication that the material is having a certain cracks, minute cracks, whether it can be at the surface or it can be in the interlayers, right? So that is the one of the application of the eddy current. You can observe here. Suppose if it is having the crack or any void in the conducting material, the eddy current, instead of having the circles like this, it will be having the different path. It will take the current different path, in the sense the variation will be there in the current, that will be shown on the digital indicator, which will indicate there is having some cracks or voids in the component for which they are testing it. That is what the eddy current is used for. Because of this type of, it is not circle. Eddy means circular. You can observe here also, right? Because of the crack, it won't make that current to generate in the form of circles, eddy current. See here another application, to digitally it will going to indicate in this form, right? Suppose if it is having any crack or the any minute variation on the surfaces, that can be measured easily by using the eddy current. So this will be the coil, what I shown over there. When the DC is supplied, it will generate the magnetic field. Whenever conducting material brought close to it, it will generate the current, circular current. If it is having any flaws or any surface defect, that circular current won't be generated properly. There will be variation. That fluctuation will indicate presence of the crack, eddy current. So now comes the eddy current dynamometer, what we are actually discussing, right? Eddy current dynamometer. You can observe here, this will be the engine, right? This is the engine. It is been coupled to this rotor. All of you can see, right? Toothed rotor. This rotor is in the casing, or you can call it as the stator. You can observe here, right? This is the stator. Like this, it will be coupled engine. This will be the dynamometer, eddy current dynamometer, right? This is the casing or the stator. Inside that, it is going to have the rotor. To this casing, or you can call it as stator, you can observe here, this is the arm. See, eddy current effect tends to make the casing rotate in same direction as rotor, balancing in equilibrium with sliding weight on arm. So basically, this is the eddy current dynamometer will look like. It is been coupled to the motor or the engine, for which it is going to measure the torque or the power. Strictly, eddy current dynamometer is an absorption type dynamometer, so it has to connect it to the power generator. So IC engine, what you are seeing here, it is a power generator. Play a small video of it, right? So there is a eddy current dynamometer. The textbook image is like this, eddy current dynamometer. You can observe here, it is having the rotor. The casing itself, it is the stator. So DC supply, it has been given, and this is the torque arm, which measures the force. See here, cooling water in, cooling water out. It has been mentioned here. Cooling water in, cooling water out. You can observe here, right? This image. This is the rotor. This is the stator, the casing. The T current dynamometer. So the engine is being coupled to the rotor. Rotor, it is like the teeth. It's going to have the teeth basically. See, when a conducting material when a conducting material moves through the magnetic flux field. Okay, I'll explain with respect to this, right? See, when a conducting material moves through the magnetic flux field, a voltage will be generated, which cause the current to flow. That is what the eddy current means, right? As I discussed over here, right? Eddy current. See, eddy current dynamometer work basically on the principle of this eddy current generation. So when the conducting material move through the magnetic flux field, so this is the conducting material, as it move through this magnetic field, a voltage will be generated, which causes the current to flow. That current is what this eddy current, right? So if the conductor is in the form of a metal piece, right? If it is in the form of a piece of material, a short bar of metal and not a part of complete circuit, voltage will still be induced in it. Voltage will be still induced in it. See, these current, what is going to generate is called as the eddy current. And these eddy current, like I said, it will go to dissipate in the form of heat. So while dissipate in the form of heat means that heat need to be removed, right? Even though it's going to dissipate these current, what is going to generate, if it is dissipated in the form of heat, these heat need to be removed. In order to remove that heat, what is going to generate in the dynamometer, here in this image is shown as cooling water in, cooling water out. They will provide it with the cooling system. The water will go to enter and water will go to out, right? In order to that whatever the heat is going to dissipate, in order to remove that heat, this cooling of cooling system, that is the cooling water in and cooling water out, will be used for it. So coming to this dynamometer, hydraulic dynamometer, sorry, eddy current dynamometer, it consists of the non-magnetic solid rotor. You can observe here, consists of a non-magnetic, but it is a metallic rotor, which is a rotated in the magnetic field of the stator. This is the stator, what you can able to see here. This stator, inside that, this rotor will going to rotate. This is non-magnetic, but it is a solid metallic rotor, which is rotated in the magnetic field of the this stator. So the magnetic field is produced by passing the DC current, right? Magnetic field, what it going to generate by passing the DC current, this stator will generate the magnetic field, right? Through the coils which are attached to the dynamometer housing. This housing will going to generate that magnetic field. See, the housing is mounted on the trunnion bearings. The machine for which the torque has to be measured is coupled to this rotor. A machine for which you are actually want to measure the torque or the power, that is to be coupled to the rotor. As you can observe here in this image, this is the engine which you wish to measure the torque, which has been coupled to the rotor. Or you can observe this image is connected to the rotor, right? So as the rotor rotates in the magnetic field, right? As the rotor rotates in the magnetic field, eddy currents are generated. And these magnetic field will tend to rotate the complete dynamometer housing in the trunnion bearings. The torque is measured with a torque arm extending from this housing. The torque is going to be measured by this extension of arm, which is called torque arm. And when the rotor moves in this field, produces by a stator winding, an EMF is produced in it, resulting in a large loss of power due to eddy current, and that loss of power of the eddy current is dissipate in the form of heat in between the gap between the rotor and the stator, and that heat will be removed by supplying the cooling water. So in practice, the speed and the torque are and the power is computed by the P is equal to 2 pi nt by 60. So eddy current dynamometer works basically on the eddy current principle itself. So this is what the eddy current dynamometer is about, right?